Hello everyone, welcome back to the Zekko football channel. Manchester United have drawn 2-2 with Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford, and today we're going to be going into what we've learned from this game going into the second half of the season, what we can take away from both United and Tottenham as they progress through into the second half towards the end of this campaign. If you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe, you like the video, and you turn on those notifications. It really would help me out, and I'd really appreciate it, so thank you. But now, let's get into it. Okay, let's talk Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. If I was to take away the attacking momentum bar and asked you which one of these sides was the home side, I'm pretty sure you'd say Tottenham, considering the amount of momentum they had, considering the amount of attacks they had, the amount that they just dominated the match. Manchester United only having spits and spurts of attacking momentum, really looking like the away side, really stepping off and just waiting for the counter-attack. But that's been Manchester United for quite some time now. If we have a look at the attacking lineups, both teams are dealing with injuries, so that's not necessarily an excuse. But I think the major point to look at this is where both sides have managers who want to instill a philosophy, but only one of them has been able to get their philosophy across into their players, and it's actually the manager who's had less time with their group. And that really does need to say something about both the players, the manager, and where both clubs are at the moment. Ange Postecoglou has been able to get his style of play into Tottenham Hotspur almost instantaneously. They've bought into what he wants from them, and even with injuries going forwards, with the likes of Basuma being out, with the likes of Son being out, Kulusevski being out, you've got as well the likes of Pape Matar being out. Almost 4 top class players, and I haven't even mentioned James Maddison. 4 or 5 top class players who would walk into this Tottenham starting 11, and still they are playing football, still they are having style of play, patterns of play, the ability to go forwards, they're transitioning vertically through the pitch, they're able to maintain a calmness and a composure. If you contrast that with Manchester United, everything seems to be at 100 miles an hour, everything is forced, everything needs to go immediately, everything needs to be almost forced through. They don't have any composure, and that's because they don't have any game plan to work off. They don't have any idea of how to break a side down. They don't have any patterns of play. They don't understand that when one player is here, another pass should be here. They don't understand the movement that it takes to be able to build up patterns of play going vertically through the pitch, and instead they rely on moments, individual brilliance, and that's exactly what happened in this game. Rasmus Højlund with a fantastic goal, Marcus Rashford with a very good goal, but again, they can't replicate these moments because it's not part of a pattern of play. It's not part of a way that the side builds up. It's just singular individual brilliance. Bruno Fernandes, everybody looks to him to create that killer pass, that wonder pass. But it's not sustainable. They don't have ways of building themselves up the pitch and then replicating a goal over and over again, very much like Tottenham do, very much like Liverpool do, very much like Manchester City do, Arsenal do. These are hallmarks of a great side, and unfortunately for Manchester United fans, it's just not there at the moment. The build-up play is not being shown by Erik ten Hag, and it's not being allowed by the players. Either the players aren't picking it up, or Erik ten Hag doesn't have faith in them to be able to take those instructions and build on them. Ange Postecoglou has looked at his Tottenham Hotspur players and said that they can do a job, and that is the biggest difference between these two sides. Tottenham looks levels above Manchester United, and you can see those in the stats in a second. But really, when we have a look at the average positions, Man United looked all over the place. They looked okay, don't get me wrong, but Alejandro Garnacho really had too much to do out on this right-hand side against Destiny Udogie and tracking back to try and help out Diogo Dalot. Marcus Rashford failed to really follow the runs of Pedro Porro at times. Then you've got the midfield presence, or the lack of a midfield presence, in terms of Kobbie Mainoo and Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen has never been a defensive midfielder, so sitting him in a double pivot next to one of the youngest players at the club in the first team just seemed a little bit off. But then again, Manchester United don't really have a major centre or defensive midfielder. Casemiro is still coming back from injury. And then you have a look at the back four, who did an okay job, don't get me wrong, but from corners they look a little bit suspect. Tottenham really did punish them on that. Pedro Porro's crossing was pretty fantastic. And then you look at the lack of leadership going through the group. Johnny Evans has only just come back through, and it looks like he's the main leader going into this side. It just seemed a little bit off to me. Whereas you combine that with Tottenham Hotspur and the way they wanted to progress the ball forwards. You can see the Destiny Udogi's coming into midfield, Pedro Porro taking almost a central attacking midfield role, coming in from that right-hand side to create overloads and help the likes of Bentancur, the likes of Højbjerg, Oliver Skip getting a little bit further forwards to try and make those late runs into the box. It's a method and a process that is understood by Ange Postecoglou's players, and now we can have a look at the stats, and it's just replicating exactly what I'm saying. They had most possession, they had more shots on target. Yes, they had more shots off target, but that's all about creating that momentum, creating that pressure. They had higher XG. We can go on. It's just a real demonstration of what happens when you have a manager with a style of play that believes in the players that he has. I mean, the amount of corners that they had was absolutely ridiculous. 13-8. It was just crazy to see. I mean, 13 corners here, 8 corners here. Just there's a big difference between both of these sides, and it was quite stark to see. And if there's anything that we take away from this match, it's that Ange Postecoglou is a very, very good coach, and clearly Erik ten Hag does not trust the level that his players are currently at. We've seen him play that kind of football at Ajax, and time after time again we have seen him just complain that, or explain that the players that he has at his disposal do not play Ajax level football or do not play Ajax brand football. But that's where the game is going, and Ange Postecoglou has been able to get his side playing free-flowing, attacking, possession-based football. And I think a lot of Manchester United fans will be wondering, why can't they do it as well? We'll end up by having a look at the Premier League table, because it's a stark reminder that Manchester United are far away from where they want to be. Tottenham started off the season pretty brilliantly. They fell off, but they're now level on points with Arsenal, having played one game more, and they're still within contention for those top 4 places, only 3 points away from Aston Villa. That's not bad at all. Contrast that with Manchester United, who are currently 11 points off of Aston Villa, having played the same amount of games. A poor turnaround. They still have a goal difference of -5, and if that's not embarrassing, I don't really know what is. One manager is going forwards, one manager seems to be stationary, and unfortunately for Manchester United fans, it appears like the Dutchman doesn't really know what to do at the helm, whereas Ange Postecoglou is just doing wonders and making a brilliant impact at Tottenham Hotspur. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Where do you see Tottenham finishing, and where do you see Man United finishing? What did you learn from the game between both sides? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, take care.